resistance band front squat. First thing, let's get Janelle set up. You step into the band with the feet about shoulder width apart. Now, what we want to make sure with the band is we want to make sure that we have some looseness in that band. In fact, we can even get a little bit more. Janelle, just let's go a little bit. There. So we have some looseness. What we don't want to do is we don't have that real tight in there. There's no point in having all the resistance between your feet. We want the resistance between your foot and your shoulder when we get set up. So Janelle's going to curl up. Elbows are inside the band. Now, the way you hold the band is a couple different ways. You can see Janelle has actually got her thumbs inside. She's kind of blocking it from hitting her throat. Some people will hold it a little bit lower. Some people will hold it cross. You find the version that works best for you, whatever's comfortable for you. Elbows are in and up. Okay, and let's go ahead and just do a squat this direction. Good. And then let's have you turn and talk a little about the posture. Okay, so if you watch Janelle's elbows, they're going to stay up. Her elbows are parallel to the floor, or say her triceps are staying parallel to the floor. Sit and drive up. She's going to go as deep as she can while maintaining a good posture. Okay, and again with this one, you want to make sure that you're not jutting the neck out. Keep the chin tucked. Find a spot to stare at. Squat down, ideally to parallel or lower if you can. And then drive back up through the heels, pushing against that band as the resistance gets greater and greater, because that's the way the band works. Really nice way to do squats at home. That's going to be your resistance band front squat. The resistance band assisted push-ups. This is one of my favorite ways to teach people push-ups, because what we're going to do is we're basically going to seriously drop or dramatically drop the amount of weight that you're carrying with the assistance of a band. Now, it's the opposite. The lighter the band, the harder this is. The heavier the band, the easier it is, because it's going to take more of your weight away. So we're going to hook up to the top bar here. If you're at home, you can just use your band utility strap. You can hook it up in the doorway, just like we always do. Okay, we're going to put Janelle inside the band. I'm going to put it right around her waist. Okay, so we're going to get some help as if I was lifting her. She's going to go ahead and get set up in the bottom of the top of the push-up position. I like to have the feet actually against the wall. At home, that may not be an option for you, and that's okay. So in this particular case, I've got her feet driving into the wall. That helps her engage the glutes more. Okay. As far as the hand position is set up, go ahead and just drop your knees, Janelle, and just rest real quick. What we're going to do for the hand position is the thumbs, when you come down, should be right about nipple height, just like a regular push-up. Okay, you gotta be careful. Sometimes when people get set up on this, they end up having their out further because they start from the top. Okay, so make sure you're in that good position. And again, just like all push-ups, elbows are going to be tucked in to the side. So if you've watched any of the other push-up videos, we've already covered that. Abs are tight. Let's pop Janelle up. Let's drive those feet into the wall. That just adds a little bit of extra glute engagement. And now she can inhale down and exhale up, and she can get a nice solid push-up. Okay, take a rest. One thing I do want to point out here is as you are using these bands, some bands might really give you a lot of help, but almost to the point where maybe it's too much help in the hips, and you end up with your hips staying up and just your upper body dropping. Just show one of those, Janelle, where the band is keeping the hip up and you're just chest dropping. Okay, see how the butt's kind of sticking up too much? Okay, she's having a hard time doing it wrong, which is good. So you've got to be careful, especially you'll see that with the purple or the green bands, which are great for helping people learn push-ups. But we want to make sure the hips, we don't have this angle where the butt's way up. So just in that case, what you need to do is you need to drive your hips into the band. Okay, squeeze the glutes, drive the hips into the band, so your hips, your belly button, are all coming down at the same time, chest to that floor, and we're good. So let's go one more time. Push the heels in, squeeze the butt. And you can see a little bit right there that that band is holding her hips up a little bit. So one more time, this time drive your hips down with the chest. There we go, and come on back up. And there you have it, the band assisted push-up. The resistance band RDL. RDL is the Romanian deadlift. Okay, so we're gonna have Janelle go ahead and step onto the band. Go ahead and face the camera first. Just stepping onto the band, the feet about hip width apart. And now she can grab the two ways. She can grab the bands just grab the loops, and those are kind of her handles. Or to increase the resistance without using a heavier band, she loops her hands through, okay? Now let's go ahead and reposition you to the side. Fix that posture. Yeah, so get yourself set up first, okay? Drop the butt. You wanna make sure you drop the butt and then pick the weight up, okay? Rather than just rounding it up. Shoulders can be down and back, just like our hip hinge or any other RDL variation. It's about pushing the hips back and then bringing them in. So it's not about down and up, it's about pushing the butt back and then coming forward. Nice solid squeeze at the top. With the resistance bands, you really got to pay extra attention to the upper mid-back, so you're going to get a really good workout in here as well, because bands are pulling you down pretty excessively, especially as you get towards the top, and the resistance increases with the band as you get to the top. So there's really no rest for this one. And that is going to be your resistance band RDL. One thing I want to point out, and I know I point out in some other RDL videos, is making sure you're not overarching at the back. You want to come up tall, straight, lock the legs, lock the glutes, lock that lower, that upper mid back down and back. That's the top position, just straight up and tall. Don't break past that vertical line. That's it, the resistance band RDL. The resistance band seated row, it's just you and the band. So Janelle's going to take that band and she's going to wrap it around her feet. So this is great when you don't have anything to attach to. And she's got 2 loops, those are going to be her handles. Now if the bands are too long, she can actually put her hands through the bands. Just show what that looks like real quick. Hands through the bands and grab. Now that's obviously going to make the weight heavier. So that's one way to increase the load without actually having to go to the next level band. Posture is going to be critical, so let her get her back into the position that she was in. Okay, up nice and tall, posture's critical. She's going to pull right to the ribs, hold for a count, and release. So just like a standing row where you might be attaching to your band utility strap or to a banister like we have here at the gym, this is a great way to do it when you have nothing to attach to or you just don't want to, or you want to change up the angle. We'll do that in class 2. Great for supersets and things of that nature. So that is going to be your resistance band training row with just you and the band. Front pillar variations, okay? Let's work that core. We're going to get Janelle down in position. The elbows are going to be right underneath the shoulders. And we're going to show a couple different versions. So this is going to be a modified version. She's cutting her body weight down quite considerably by being on her knees. What we're looking for is we want a neutral alignment from the tailbone to the shoulders and bring that head back. And there. Nice straight line all the way through. Okay, maintaining a controlled breathing, tightening the core, keeping the glutes tight. It's all about keeping that belly rock solid. She can go to her feet to make it more challenging. Okay, and then she can also lift one leg in the air to make it even more so. And there you have it. Some different variations for your front pillar. Pretty straightforward exercise. Knees, toes, 1 foot. The key with this one is really focusing on squeezing the core, okay, keeping a good neutral spine and not letting that head drop or arch up. Keep everything nice and neutral, nice and solid. Okay. Other things you can do to kind of enhance this is squeeze your feet together. When you squeeze your feet together, you actually get a little more glute activation and you focus a little more in the kind of like bearing down and tightening in that core. Those are front pillar variations.